Talk Wednesday. Today is October 25th of 2023, and this is our final NaNoWriMo prep stream for 2023. So when I come to you next week, it'll be November 1st, and on November 1st, we will actually be interviewing the entire month of November. We'll be interviewing authors who have completed National Novel Writing Month. Now, there's a good chance, or I should say there's a 50-50 chance that either they have completed or not completed their story. They've completed their story, whether they published or not published their story. So everybody I'll be talking to in November has quote-unquote won National Novel Writing Month, but they may not have published the story, and that is okay. And I want to really emphasize that there's a lot of pressure, I think, to do National Novel Writing Month and to publish that story. And that's one of those things that, you know, if you feel comfortable doing that, if what you write is good enough to make that happen, on the first draft. I mean, and very few of us write very clean first drafts. A lot of us need to edit. And so depending on how that goes, you may not actually publish for a while or publish ever what you write for National Novel Writing Month. I just kind of want to do my pre-flight checks like I do before we start at 6 o'clock. So we've got about 4 minutes left. I just want to see. I am live on Twitch. Great, let me just take a look at that. There we go. I'm going to pause myself. Okay. So I've got Twitch up for any comments. Let me hit play on that. There we go. Let me go to YouTube. Oh, I'm on my wrong account for YouTube. So just a second here. So it'll be just a few moments here, and then we'll begin at 6 o'clock. As always, I want to remind you that I am joined here in the office cabin with my cat. With the cat, Skittles. Skittles very much likes to knock over the camera. I'm going to try to send her back over to her chair to sleep for another half an hour. We'll see how that goes. But just want to remind you that if we have shenanigans, it's the cat's fault. Okay, almost here. Okay. Just finishing getting set up here. Sorry about this. I've also announced this live in our Discord channel for Epona Author Solutions. You want the link to our Discord, go ahead and sign up for the Marketing Mindset and Editing Bundle, which you can see there on the side of the screen. So that is there. You'll grab our free Marketing Mindset and Editing Bundle. The Editing Bundle will definitely come in handy after NaNoWriMo, and hopefully the Mindset Bundle will help as well. And you'll also get the link to our Discord channel. So we're almost here. There we go. I am live on YouTube. Okay, great. Okay. And good. We got the chat going on. So if you are live watching me either on Twitch at twitch.tv/EponaAuthor or youtube.com/@EponaAuthorSolutions. Pause that. There we go. Then you can go ahead and use the chat room or the chat spaces there to go ahead and ask a question, say hi, drop a comment, whatever you would like. And so with that, It is 6 o'clock on the dot. I just saw the clock turn. So we are beginning with our Right Talk Wednesday. I'm going to take a drink here. Okay. So welcome to our final Right Talk Wednesday. I really appreciate you being here. I'm just going to pause those two playbacks. So I really appreciate you being here. Really appreciate you attending these streams. If you can't attend the stream live, then you can certainly watch the replay. The replay is live on Twitch for about 2 weeks, I believe. And the replay will be live on YouTube, hopefully a lot longer than that. I think pretty much forever and ever. I will also be extracting the audio from these live streams, and I will be uploading that as its own podcast for Right Talk Wednesday. That is hashtag Right, WRITE, Talk, TALK, Wednesday. So we will go ahead and begin here. I want to talk about the final preparation for National Novel Writing Month. I'm going to go ahead and remove my little banner. And it is not, oh, I got to share it this way. Sorry, I don't know why I can't seem to remember. There we go. Share my screen. There we go. Bring it up. Oh, it's still not sharing here. Okay, just a moment. Oops. I have this happen every week, don't I, guys? I'm so sorry. Okay, why is this not... There we go. I don't know why the PowerPoint wasn't showing up before, but it is now. It has been that kind of a week for me. I don't know about you guys. But there we go. Let me just make sure that looks good. Yes. Okay. I still have the issue I see with kind of the right hand. Let's see, can I make that bigger? Nope, it's not going to let me make that bigger. I'm not sure why I have that issue with the right hand of my PowerPoint slide being cut off there. I will continue to look into that for the next time I do a presentation. So welcome. This is our final National Novel Writing Month prep. As a reminder, I am Kit Kalestow of Epona Author Solutions, and this is part of the 2023 NaNoWriMo prep series. Today I want to talk about basically what do you need to have together. We are coming up on the last weekend in October. What do you want to have lined up? What do you want to have in a binder, in a folder? What do you want to have in your head before November 1st rolls around? And that's what this presentation will be talking about. So we're going to talk about your story idea and your outline. What do you need there? What do you not need there? We're going to talk about, do you have your schedule covered? Are you thinking about your schedule? We're going to talk about some self-care and creative support. And then we're going to talk about after National Novel Writing Month. And as always, we will end talking about our next streams and our reminders. Just a brief introduction. Again, I have been publishing for over 20 years. I've been an editor for at least 10 years, an author services provider at Epona Author Solutions. I've recently added author coaching to my services, working on putting some final touches on that. And I am so passionate about helping authors avoid burnout and just get off the hustle bus. I could talk for an entire stream about the hustle bus in publishing and what that means. So I won't, but I am very passionate about helping authors avoid burnout, work at their own pace, constantly refill and renew their creative well so they can tell the stories they want to tell. My preferred genres right now are fantasy, young adult, and queer equestrian lit. Those are some of the covers under one of my pen names. I'm currently working on doing some rebranding. As always, when I have those new covers, here comes the cat, just a second. When I get those new covers, I will certainly share those with you here. And that picture, I always get asked about the duck. That picture is of me and Super Duck. So, I'm just going to click play here real quick. Okay. So, something you should have before November 1st is either your story idea or an outline. And it's an and or. If, like me, you're a pantser, you might have a story idea, you might have an idea for your main character, a setting for your main character, and a general idea of what you want your main character to accomplish. If you are a plotter, somebody who prefers to write with an outline, then you might have, at least a chapter by chapter outline. You may just have kind of a story arc. This is where the story begins, this is the climax of the story, and this is how it all wraps up. Those outlines can be as detailed or not as you need them to be. Before you do start National Novel Writing Month, it's a good idea to have an idea of where you're going and how the story will end. But as I mentioned, and I think it was our first stream together, when it comes to National Novel Writing Month, there was a book published called No Plot, No Problem, where they were actually encouraging people to start the event not knowing anything about the story. As a writer, as an author, that idea kind of freaks me out. So if you're going to sit down November 1st and just start writing the story that comes to mind, awesome. That is great. For the rest of us, I think we would like to know at least where we're going to start and have some vague idea of how we're going to end. I think it's also good to know whether you write best with or without an outline. I've talked about it before. When I started my writing career, I was serious about an outline. I was serious about, here's my chapters. I had 4 points per chapter. Each point covered 1,000 words. I got really mad when my characters deviated from an outline. And then as I don't know if I want to say as my writing matured, but as I became more comfortable and more at home in my writing style and more familiar with my genre and with kind of the beats of the genre. At the time I was writing romance, and so there are specific beats, of course. You have your first meeting, your first kiss, so on and so forth. Once you kind of know those and kind of internalize those, it's almost like muscle memory, and you can work on those with or without an outline. And so now I don't have an outline. I start with the character, I start with the setting, and I know kind of the arc or the journey I want to go on. I do want to encourage you, though, not to create, I want to encourage you to create an outline if you need one. Don't feel like you're cheating. Don't feel like it's a crutch. Don't feel like, anything like that is going on. So don't feel like, having an outline of some sort is like violating the rules of National Novel Writing Month, because there are not any rules. And again, I just want to repeat, your outline can be as detailed or as sparse as necessary. After you kind of have your story settled and you're feeling pretty good, at least with what you have for your story, I want to encourage you to check your schedule. We're creeping up on the holidays. In America, November usually has a 4-day weekend with Thanksgiving. A lot of people travel, a lot of people visit family. There's a lot of football games and parades that happen, if that's your thing. Sorry, I'm not a football person. So know kind of what you're expecting. What road bumps. Are you a business person to where you're going to have to settle in, prepare for Black Friday, which is the big shopping day, the day after Thanksgiving, Cyber Monday? Do you work at a nonprofit where Giving Tuesday is a thing? That's the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. Everybody wants people to donate. How do those things impact your schedule? sorry, my brain's hiccuping tonight. How do those things impact your schedule? Just a second, I'm gonna move the cat. How do they not impact your schedule? What does your work week look like if you work? You know, have you thought about, last week we talked about, or 2 weeks ago it was, we talked about the word counts and how the word count breaks down to during the day, or 1667 words a day, 11,667 words a week. How have you worked in contingency plans? Do you know when the best time for you to write will be? There's a lot of questions, and you don't have to have answers to all of them, but it's good to start thinking about them and to start being aware of these things that may impact your schedule. And I'm just going to kind of move past that, because I think self-care and creative support is probably the most underlooked area of being an author, but I also think that it's the most underlooked area of National Novel Writing Month. We get so excited about the event. It comes around once a year. There's a lot of energy. If you live anywhere near a city, a major city, I'll say, there usually are in-person events. You can find those through the groups and through the location groups at National Novel Writing Month. For example, I'm in Missouri, and Springfield, Columbia, Kansas City, St. Louis, maybe some of the other, Cape Girardeau, maybe there's some other cities with in-person events, but pretty much on the National Novel Writing Month boards, there's just a group called Missouri Elsewhere. And I know they tried to do write-ins, I want to say like Sedalia and Warrensburg and some other places that are many, many hours from me. But like where I'm at, I'm 100 miles away from the nearest write-in if they do them in Springfield, and I'm sure they do. So you may have in-person events with a lot of energy. You may also be juggling Discord server events with a lot of energy. And so you may be in multiple Discord servers. I fully expect my Discord to start blowing up this weekend. I may have to meet some servers because I fully expect a lot of energy around this. And when you have that kind of energy, when you are writing a story, then there's a lot of pressure and a lot of urgency to really make the story to write regardless of what happens, regardless of how you feel, to not check in with yourself, for example. And so I do want to talk about, as much as I can, I'm having trouble finding my words tonight, I'm sorry. Self-care and creative support. One of the things I think it's important for you to do is, if you set those goals, check in with yourself every day. What can you do each day? Have a backup plan if you don't write. Say, for example, you have a really rough week. Like today was kind of difficult. And so when you have those rough days and you're like, you know what, I just don't have the bandwidth to write today, have a backup plan so you know how to go forward. If you skip a couple days, that's about 3,000 words. How are you going to kind of plug those gaps? And I hate to even use that kind of language, but are you going to try to make up those words again? That's technically the term, but I feel like that puts pressure, that makes you feel like you've missed something when you haven't. So I want to ask, have you built in some self-care and creative support time? Are there television shows or streaming events that, episodes drop on a certain day, or certain, days of the week when things are on air, depending on what television version you're watching, cable, over the air, streaming, that sort of thing. Are there times like that where you can block off time and say, this is my me time? I'm not going to write. I'm not going to stress. I'm going to relax with whatever media I want to relax with at this time. What can you do to keep the creative juices flowing? Are there books you can read or reread to help keep the creative juices flowing? Are there playlists? Some people write to music, some people need silence, some people have television shows on in the background. Streaming is really great for this. I know people that will put on all 7 seasons of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and that just goes in the background, and it's kind of, their comfort television, they're comfortable with it, they're familiar with it, and it works with what they're writing. Are you making those playlists? But I really want you to know that it's okay to stop and take breaks. I really want you to know that if you're seeing big numbers, and inevitably during the first 5 to 10 days, people put up some absolutely amazing numbers of word counts. I did 8,000 words today. If you see that, don't feel bad if you're doing your 1,667 words a day every day. Don't feel bad if people are halfway done with their book and it's only day 10. Everybody writes at different levels. Everybody has different things going on in their life. And I think it's important to know that it's okay to stop and take breaks. It's okay to check in with yourself. If you're listening to this and you're running a Discord, I want you to check in with your people. How are you guys feeling? Everybody okay? Somebody need a hug? Does somebody need some encouragement? I want you to check in with your people. I want you to check in with your friends. Check in with the people around you. I also want you to stretch your wrist and relax your shoulders. I know that may seem like random advice, but if you're listening to this and you're younger than I am, which there's a very good chance you are, as somebody who has spent 30 years at a computer keyboard, probably, I'd have to do math, but yeah, easily probably 30 years at a computer keyboard, of some type or another. The wrists get angry. Carpal tunnel syndrome is not anything that you guys want. So stretch your wrist. In fact, I'm going to actually talk to you a little bit about those. In fact, let me do that now. Let me come back here. Just a second here. I'm going to come back to the screen. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. I'm back. I'm going to bring my little banner back. So there's some stretches that you can do to really help your wrists. And I want to put a little disclaimer out there. If you are hypermobile, if you have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, I hope I pronounced that right, please be careful of your wrists. But, there's some things you can do. For example, if you hold your hand out in front of you, put your other hand and just gently flex back. You don't want to hyperextend your fingers. I'm being very careful not to hyperextend my fingers. I'm being very careful not to hyperextend my wrists. But just gently flex your wrist back. Let me see. There we go. Gently flex your wrist back. Just like that. Don't have to go very far, but just move them, because this is the typing position. And so you want to move your wrists. You can move them this way. Circle your wrists. Go in both directions. Flex your fingers. Make little raptor hands. Make little dinosaur hands. See, I can do that, and I feel like every knuckle in my finger are popping right now, because there's a weather front that's going to move through in the next couple of days. When you guys get old, you too can tell the weather with your bones. But just, move your hands, roll your shoulders, stretch your arms, do the stretches you did in school, stretch your arm, give yourself a hug, stretch your arm. You can stretch them behind your back too, grab your, stretch them that way. whatever you need to do, but keep your shoulders down. Do a check-in with yourself, because if you write, your shoulders get up like this. Make sure you drop your shoulders down. I'm getting pretty good now at keeping my shoulders down. But do these check-ins with you. I'm going to come back to my PowerPoint, but it's very important to do that, because that's just protecting your body. When you are an author, when you are publishing books, you know, your hands, your wrist, that's how you make your money. It's like a masseuse. It's like somebody who gives massages for a living, or a baker, somebody who bakes bread. They knead dough. Their hands are their money makers, and you want to protect those. So pardon the little physical therapy break there, but I think it's very important. I sincerely hope, I know when I've done write-ins, my leaders have been very good about, you know, get up, stretch a little bit, do what you need to do. I also want to say, don't neglect to hydrate. Don't neglect your hydration. I'm drinking, you know, diet lemon lime soda right here, just because that was what was easiest to grab out of the fridge for the stream. Pop is not water. I know water has different tastes, different flavors. If you can find water mix-ins, fruit drops, something like that to mix in, that's good. I like to drink green tea a lot. Panera has this most delicious green tea. I miss that from write-ins. You know, green tea is good, or tea in general is good, because it has a compound in it called L-lysine. L-theanine. And L-theanine kind of counteracts the caffeine in tea, and it really kind of, it keeps you focused, but caffeinated. It's pretty nice. L-theanine is very good at relaxation. Take your medicine if you need it. You know, don't skip your meds, kids. Don't do that. And I think it's important to remember that rest refills the creative well. And I'm not talking about 8 hours of sleep, but sleep is also, you know, that's something that's always good for your health. That's also so personal, and depending on your mental and physical health, sleep can often be very elusive. But when I'm talking about rest, I'm talking about sitting down with your favorite media, or going for a walk outside, or just stepping outside onto your porch and sitting down for a bit. That all refills the creative well. Excuse me, I did not mean to go on there. After National Novel Writing Month, don't be in a rush to publish. I know a lot of people are super excited, and especially if, like me, you self-publish, it is very, very exciting, and you want to just get that book out there. Let the story rest. Put it aside for at least a week. Sometimes a lot of people I know want 2 weeks of rest. Let it rest till the new year if you need to, but let the story rest. Let the adrenaline go back to normal, hopefully, and then come back to it with a fresh pair of eyes. You don't have to publish or move forward right away. And this is something that I'm really hoping some of our guests next month really talk about, which is that you don't have to immediately publish your National Novel Writing Month story. Now, I've got some people lined up that have published every single one. I've got some lined up that they're on, you know, several editing rounds and they haven't published yet. You don't even have to publish if you don't want to. I still think my favorite NaNoWriMo story is the one that I haven't published. Completely different genre from anything that I've done. Completely different, you know, everything. And yeah, would I like to go back to it someday? I've already rewritten it twice. I'm just letting it chill. Edit when you're ready and not when everyone else is editing. And what I mean by that is I know a lot of groups line up December editing, and so then they spend December editing their nano stories. I feel like you should edit when you're ready, and that goes back to the first bullet point on this slide. to let the story rest. Edit the story when it says it's ready, not don't peer pressure and editing don't mix. I think it's important to debrief. Know what worked and what didn't. Was writing every day very difficult because of your work or family or other responsibilities? Think about what worked, what didn't, what you could change for next year. I want you to keep in contact with those new writing friends you may have made, whether you connected with somebody on the NaNoWriMo boards, or whether you met people in person, or whether you met people on Discord. I want you to keep in contact with those. Community is important. Please stay optimistic. Don't get discouraged. This business is so difficult and it can be so hard on our psyches. Stay optimistic, stay encouraged, stay enthusiastic. And along with that, I want to emphasize, and I should have just made a big slide with this in big, big letters, ginormous letters. Even if you don't win, and a lot of people I've had kind of tell me, why do they say that? Why am I talking about people not winning when it's not even November? Well, because we put so much pressure on ourselves. I'm trying to lift a little bit of that pressure off of you. So even if you don't win with the 50,000 words, you still won because you tried. And I think that is the most important thing to say here. So I'm just kind of checking YouTube and checking Twitch. I'm not seeing any questions or anything. Hopefully I'll get better at promoting these streams. If not, you can all watch the replay and listen to the podcast. So, oh look, I didn't change my slide. Next stream and next steps. Join us every Wednesday in November at 6 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Pacific, 5 Mountain, 7 Eastern. You can join us every Wednesday in December too, because I've got some. I'm booking up my interviews here. In November, I will be interviewing nano veterans to keep you encouraged. If you have not yet done so, sign up at NaNoWriMo.org. If you do have an account there, make sure it's up to date. There's still time to check. Put in your story, put in your title, put in your goal. Again, that's what this whole stream is. There goes the cat. That's what this whole stream has been about. Think about what your November might bring and start to make some plans. I hear a bird outside the window. She's very interested. Put our streams on your calendar and head on over to Epona Author Solutions /MME bundle to receive your free gift. Okay, and I'm back. I'm going to go and close my PowerPoint real quick. There we go. Oop, let me put my bar back. Oop. Oop. There we go. Okay. So, just pointing at my bar over there. There we go, over there. Get your marketing mindset and editing bundle at bit.ly/MME bundle or Epona Author Solutions /MME bundle. That's how you get on the newsletter. That's how you find out about the streams. And I am so looking forward to my November lineup. In fact, as soon as this is done, I'm about to finalize some things with a few more guests. Very, very exciting. I'm just going to do a final check here. Yeah, we're looking good. Okay. I don't have any questions. As always, just a reminder, you can go to twitch.tv/Epona Author Solution. I'm sorry, twitch.tv/Epona Author for our Twitch stream, or youtube.com/@Epona Author Solutions for our YouTube channel. And the replays will stay on YouTube forever. They will stay on Twitch for 2 weeks. I am so looking forward to our interviews that are coming up. And so with that, I want to thank you so much for being here again on Write Talk Wednesday. I want to say goodbye. It's about 6:30. I hope you guys have a good evening, day, afternoon, whenever you watch this. And I am so glad you could join me, and I'll be